Okay, you guys, if you guys do not know who Rachel is, she's so awesome. And I'm so happy that she's able to get on here tonight with us. So why don't you guys just comment in the chat and just say hi and thank her for getting on this with us. I'm going to let her tell her story. But Rachel, if you don't mind just kind of telling us a little bit, you know, you don't have to go like 15 minutes into your story. I know that's always like, we always want to say so much. But just tell us a little bit of maybe some things that, you know, things that you've been able to accomplish, some trials that maybe you went through to get to where you are and just kind of who you are and yeah, your story with It Works.
Do you guys watch the family call together?
No, not on here. No.
Dang, you guys, they got on fast.
I know, right?
I ran off so fast. Okay. Hi guys, thank you for having me on. So my quick story. It's been 5.5 years in this with this business, and where I was when I started, I was I did things backwards. And got pregnant when I was 20. Had my son when I was 21 and in college. Around my college schedule, that was my first priority, and then around my college schedule, I was a full-time server. Just picking up as many shifts as I could. And I was on government assistance, living paycheck to paycheck. And you know what it's like when you're a waitress. There has to be at least one server on here. It's like sometimes you might leave with 100, sometimes you might leave with 20. It's freaking hard. It sucks. So anyways, I was approached with this business. Long story short, I had tried a company in the past, did not do good at it. So I wasn't looking for It Works, but I wanted the wraps and I couldn't afford them. And so she dropped the business side on, and I shot her down with every excuse you can make. And it's funny because I told her I didn't have the money for $59 for the wraps, but I signed up as a distributor the same day. So I think that's important to say because you guys, you never know. I don't know what she said. She didn't really say much, but it just like, our conversation went long enough to where I had this feeling in my stomach that I could do it. I could at least make a couple $100 a month. So I jumped in. Like I said, I just started my senior year of college, so I was busy. I went diamond in 3 months. I just sacrificed. I don't know how I found the time. Sometimes I think I did a lot better when I didn't have time because I made time and I was intentional with my time. But I went diamond in 3 months, and my story is like a lot of other top leaders where the comma really did change the game for us. That first comma changed everything. Zach was on board. Everyone was pumped. We were doing it. 2 months later, we went double diamond. So that was 5 months in. I was freshly 22 years old. Zach was the diamond to my double, and the bonuses were doubled. So we were making good money, and we quit our jobs the next day. Everyone thought we were crazy. It was crazy. I graduated because I was right there at the end. I haven't had to touch my degree. A year after going double, we went triple. Bonuses were doubled again. It was crazy. So we were still making really good money. And then right after I got my first triple diamond check, I got pregnant with my son Elijah, and it was horrible. And that was when I first really hit like just trials in the business because life was happening. And I guess I was so naive in thinking that life wouldn't happen to me to where my business would suffer because I was so disgustingly obsessed with It Works. And I was on such a high for so long that I crashed really fast. And there's a lot of my story out there. I just went live with Cami a couple days ago, so I won't get too much into that unless Ashley questions me about it. But life was hard. We went from triple to diamond, and then a few months after that went presidential. So we definitely did it. Every single year after conference I promote. So this timing is really, really good. I'm not the only one that promotes after conference every year. And then we went ambassador last year in the beginning of the year, right after conference. And here we are. So I think the biggest thing, it's funny because I did a Zoom at 7 and she asked me a similar question. I think that one of the biggest things outside of the financial, like savings accounts for my kids, moving, traveling, the stuff that finances have been able to do, what I've been able to accomplish that I wouldn't have been able to without It Works is just my mission trips, being able to travel. I've always wanted to go on a mission trip, me and my husband, but we just kind of didn't know where to start. We were never super involved with our church to know really what way was left from right. So being involved with children's stuff has really been one of the best blessings that I've been able to accomplish with this business because I don't know how I would have been able to do it without. That was fast. I'm proud of myself.
You talk so fast. I love it. That's so awesome. I think you just have like such like a giving heart. And I think that's one of the reasons why like I feel like I'm like so attracted to you and I just love you. But just as far as like conference, which I know we're going to talk about that in a little bit if we have time for that. So you've always just been someone who's so consistent. Like I don't know if I've ever seen a month go by that you have not like enrolled someone and you're just consistent every single day. So what is like working for you right now? Is it, host a post? I know that you're very like vulnerable on your post. You're just like you. And so can you just share the importance of, being you and why that attracts people to you as far as like your enrollment and just like creating friendships as well?
Yeah, that was a nice compliment because I feel like it's not true. I feel like you're the one that I look at
Shut
for
up.
consistency. So that's really nice of you and really, really cute. Actually, it's encouraging because I'm like, I should probably like fulfill what she feels with me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I've definitely had bad months. But yes, I will definitely talk to you. Now I will talk slower. I feel like my story's so long. I want to make sure I get fast, and I don't want anyone to ever think I ramble, because I do. So what's working right now? I actually have some good nuggets for you guys, because there's a lot of stuff working, and I'm not just going to give you guys the like, let's just be inspiring, because that doesn't always help us, right? So
Hold on 1 second. Just 1 second. If you guys are on here, write notes, because she just said she's going to give us good good nuggets. If you're someone who like types it, feel free to type it and then put it in the chat whenever she's done talking. But write this stuff down because she knows what she's talking about. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and I'll try to go slow, and I'll make sure I'm in depth with it. So host to post is working, but we're doing some things different. Okay, so I know host to post is great on Instagram. I know Ashley kills it with Instagram. I've just, I don't know. Something about Instagram. I'm just so flippin' turned off by right now. It's so discouraging to me, and I go through these phases all the time. So what I want to say is that's okay if that feels like you. I've just never been good at being good at both, so it's okay. So right now I'm so hot with Facebook that I'm like, why get so mad at Instagram if it's not working for me right now? It's just silly. So Instagram is so totally neglected. So don't go to my Instagram and think you'll get tips there, because you won't. I copy people, probably copy Ashley, so you'll see her. But Facebook, let's talk Facebook. So post to post on Facebook is working really, really well. I've signed 15 people this month so far, with between customers and distributors. And I even took my day of Sabbath yesterday, and I'm freaking proud of myself. And I didn't die, so my business kept going. So let's talk post to post. This is what's been working. Okay, first of all, you should try to do a giveaway. I almost just said you have to, and I don't want to tell anyone what they have to do, but giveaways help. I don't think that's a secret tip. So what we do, I'll just make this part real quick. What we do every month is everybody buys in. So maybe if Ashley isn't initiating one, you can totally do that. Some of my girls, like, there's been months where I'm like, I don't want to initiate one. Do it yourself. And we all do little clumps of them. So usually what we do is it's a $10 buy-in. Everybody has to buy in. Newbies for the month are free. And then based on the pot, we decide what we're giving away. So this month we have a push page, and everybody bought in on there, and we have enough money to give away $50 to 6 people every Saturday. We found that weekly worked really well instead of one, because we felt like people didn't really, this is so dumb, but we felt like people didn't want to post when we said in 4 weeks the winner will be drawn. I feel like they felt it was scamish, right? So that's something that's helped us this year. And then 2 different types of host posts, one being TFX, and I feel like it stopped working for a second and then it started again. And so we try to change up the font a little bit, 1 or 2 words. Maybe it's in our head, but I feel like it messes with the algorithm in a good way. The fonts. So I download the fonts app. I think there's a free one. Maybe there's a not free. I pay monthly, so I don't know. I think there also might be a free one, and you might get less fonts. And we change up that a little bit, and it's just at the typical, if you could take 1 pill at breakfast and 1 at lunch for 30 days or 90 days and lose 30 pounds, the typical one, would you? And that's it. I tell them not to use a colored background. Sometimes they do. We don't use any pictures, and then we've been having them not tag us. And so that's been a significant change, but it makes more work for you. So we've been having them not tag us, and it seems like that's working really well. So when someone puts a post up for me and it's TFX, I use those 3 dots, add it to the collections, and then I keep my eye on it. Some people turn on the notifications per post. I'm weird. I'm just so scared. I don't want to affect the algorithm negatively because we're already all messing with it. I don't know if that worked. I don't know. I don't turn on the notifications. I feel like that just is alarming to Facebook. So that's just my personal opinion. So I leave it there. But this means if you don't check on it, you will forget about it, and people will comment and you don't get a notification. So there's been times that I've done something and come back and there's like 15 posts on 15
You want them
comments.
on?
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, we just did it at the same time. All right, there you go.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I was just gonna try to help you. James, okay. So yeah, there's been times where I've gotten busy and I've forgotten about it. So keep an eye on that. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing that we've been experimenting with, and it's been great, and this is why I feel like I have so much to tell you. I don't know which order to go. Okay. The other host to post that's been working really good is switching it up and having 1 to 3 people every day, the good people. So like, you guys know that when you're going to have someone host posts, you probably go to their Facebook and you creep to see how good it's going to be, whatever. The people that I feel good about, 1 to 3 every day, I have them do a post, and it literally says, I've partnered up with my friend Rachel to give away 6 $50 Visa cards Saturday. Drop and then I pick an emoji to be entered. And I tell them to put it up with a solid color background. Okay, we've played with this in the past, and I don't know if it was just the timing we did it or if we didn't do enough, but it is significantly helping just this boom of everything. And I'll get into that, okay? So it's literally just, we call it the partner up post to post. I've partnered up with my friend Rachel to give away, enter giveaway, and then on the day, drop a whatever emoji to be entered. And then again, don't tag me, don't tag me. So what happens with this is that a lot of people, if you only do 1 to 3 a day, you know you have to pick quality over quantity. Now, don't get me wrong, I picked the wrong people to where there's been no one that's commented, but for the most part, I'm getting at least 15 emoji comments on each one of those partnered up, which means when those people are dropping emojis, they want entered in. And so what I'm doing is I'm adding every single comment, and then I'm leaving it at that. And then what I'm doing in the comment box is I'm saying every so often, I'm like, make sure we're friends on Facebook so you don't miss out. So then they're accepting my friend request or they're friending me. And then right when they accept it, that's when I send them the message that says, this is just the same thing if they were to drop a comment on my giveaway, the thanks for commenting, to enter, you'll just throw a post up on your wall, whatever your guys' messages for that. We switch it up every month. And that's what I send them. And so here's what I want to say about that. Because I'm adding them and waiting until they accept my friend request first, I have sent you guys, it feels like 1,000 messages this week, and I haven't gotten warned or blocked one time on Facebook. And that's a fear that a lot of people have. And I swear it's because I'm doing the friend first. And usually we just automatically message them and then we say, accept my friend request. Okay. So that's a tip that's been helping is the partner up post and then adding all of them, making sure they accept, and then messaging. I'm not responding to their comments on that partnered up one like I would TFX. I'm not responding to their comments saying, hey, add me. Hey, I messaged you, because I feel like so this is how I think of it, and I could be completely wrong, but I feel like if Ashley were my friend on Facebook and she said, I'm giving away 6 $50 visas next week, I would honestly, first I'd be like, that's a lot of money. I would creep on the comments. If she was responding to every comment saying, hey, check your messages. Okay, I also say this with a light heart. Like, I don't want, if you are doing this, for you to feel like I'm judging you. I'm just trying to tell you what I feel. If she were responding to every comment on a giveaway saying, check your messages, I would, because I'm skeptical. I'd be like, oh, it's not real. She's making them do something. Like there's some kind of ulterior motive kind of thing. That's what I feel like. So I don't respond to the comments on the partnered up post. Okay. Do I have you guys still?
Yeah.
Do I have you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. I don't have water and my mouth is dry. Okay. So that's one thing. And then, like I said, when I drop that comment every so often saying, make sure you're friends with me on Facebook, they all like flood in accepting or friending me. And then I message them. Okay. So then when they say yes to posting for me, I have them do TFX. And so what I love about this partnered up post to post is if you get 1 to 3 a day up, you never have to message people on your friends list, because it keeps going and going and going. And let's say you get 3 up and you get 15 comments on each one, that's 45 new Facebook friends. And now not all of them are going to post for you. Like a lot of people do ignore me, but that's a lot of new host to post. And then it keeps leading into more and more and more and more. So that's what's been keeping it really like fluid for us. Like it's just nonstop, and it's been really awesome. Now for TFX, what we've been doing to avoid the blank message sitting in message requests and them never seeing it thing, because we deal with that too. What I've been doing is it takes a little bit more time, but when people comment on TFX, I message them, I send them a friend request, and then I respond to the comment on that, and I say, hey girl, I just sent you a friend request. Once you accept it, my message will pop up. And that takes longer, because usually we used to be like, sent message, and it goes really fast. It takes longer to freaking type that out, and you have to type it out. I tried copying and pasting it once when I forgot about one, and that's when I got like you're doing inactivity, whatever it is. So that's been helping too, because here's what you have to think. And this was literally my like awakening aha moment Friday. And I was like, oh my gosh, it makes sense. Okay. So when you have them post for you and they don't tag you in it, the people that comment don't know that you're correlated with it. Like we do. Like I know if I have Ashley post for me and she doesn't tag me, I know I'm a part of it because I had her do it. But the people that comment don't know that. So here you are friending them, and they just think you're a random person on Facebook. They don't know that you're a part of that post. And I was like, oh my gosh. So anyways, it was funny because I was like, it's not benefiting me anymore because I'm having someone host to post 15 comments on TFX and no one will accept my friend request or see my message. It was ticking me off. So that was really, really helpful is now I'm telling them, sent you a message or sent you a friend request. Once you accept, my message will pop up. So then you have to stay on it though. You got to stay on it because you'll see the notifications on your Facebook when it says, you know, so-and-so accepted your friend request, and then you got to click on them and message them your TFX script right away. So those two things have been helping, and that is honestly why I've signed so many people, because I feel like they're opening my message a lot faster and I'm talking to so many people. It's just a numbers game, you guys. And then one more thing that was helping me with it, and we stepped away from this, and this might not even be a tip for you. You might be like, I've been doing this all along, but I stopped messaging the people that liked the host to post because I got lazy. And if they weren't commenting, I just wasn't messaging them. And 3 of the people that I signed up this week as customers only liked the host to post. And so what I would do is I would just add them and then I would message those people right away and say, hey, were you interested in Ashley's post? And then they would accept my friend request or see my message and be like, yeah, I actually was. And then I send them that weight loss. I'm like three people, which means if I wouldn't have messaged them, they wouldn't have signed up because they didn't show interest. So you also have to remember, not everybody wants to comment because people are weird and they're embarrassed or whatever. So that's been helping too. And then yeah, that's all I'll say for now because I just think
that is so good. And Allie, thank you so much for putting all of that. A lot of people are like, I'm lost. It's okay. You might be lost just because it's just because we have a lot of new people on because of the promotion. So don't stress out. You can go back to the recording. You'll get to know that Rachel just talks fast and it's okay. And I understood everything though, because I get it, because I've actually been doing those, I guess you call it like a partner host to post, and it is so overwhelming, but it's worth it because imagine if Rachel posts for me once a month and 1 month it's the cleanse, 1 month it's a thermo fight. Sooner or later people they don't add new people. Like Rachel's not a distributor, so she's not adding new friends every day on Facebook. So it's like the same network. So it's like you're continuing to just get other people's network like you are with host to post, but just continuing it further. So obviously when you're doing this host to post, you're spending a lot of time, which goes into our next question. How are you managing your time? You're working this business, you're doing host to post, your messages are flooded. And I already know you're taking your day off, which I do want you to talk about. So how are you just working this business, being successful, signing people without being on your phone 24/7? You have 2 kids, you have a husband, you have other things that you do as well. So how does that work for you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a good question. And I'm trying to be different this year. So I don't want to sound like a professional. It's only 5 days in, but I feel like this is something that I'm not going to give up on. I give up on everything. I give up on flipping everything. And that's actually something that I look up to you, Ashley. I feel like you're very consistent. So this is what I'm doing this year because it's tiring. And I still 5.5 years in get stuck in feeling like, I feel like I worked all day long, but there's nothing to flip and show for it. And so I am not a list organization person at all. But what we did is we created a checklist based on that mastermind group that we're in. Ashley, I think is based off of Ashley Sinclair's. We tweaked it to our own, and this is what it looks like. It's mine's highlighted, but I know you can't read this, but this is literally what it looks like. The highlight means it's complete, and I'll show you real quick, but it's literally day 1. This is a week. 1 sheet is a week. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, because Saturday I'm taking my day of rest. Okay. So what it is if you look up close, they're boxes. We like to color stuff in. Okay. So this is, I know you can't read it, but this is just what it looks like. And these are the tasks I do every day. And this is what's helped me still be a mom and a wife, because I feel like I know what I need to get done and I can get it done on my own time, whether I get it done fast or not. So we have, this is what's important to us. And this is, I think, also what's helped me be successful the first week. Friend requests, each box is in 5s. So we made it not sending the friend request, but getting them to accept, because you'll find it doesn't matter if you send 40, right? Because yeah. Okay. So, and when you look at it that way, you're like, oh, it's they don't always accept your friend request. You got to keep going harder. Okay. So 40 friend requests, follow 80 on Instagram. It's just so my Instagram doesn't die completely because it's so totally dying. 8 hosts to post up every single day, which again, this is something where if you're not looking at it every day, you think you do. I host to post all the time. And I thought I was doing that, but when you actually have to show proof, you're like, I have not been getting 8 up every day, maybe once a week. So 8 is our sweet spot. And then messaging 80 a day. And this isn't just cold messaging. It's your host to post messaging, your follow-up. So it's not as hard as you think. And then there's just a box for signing a distributor a day. This is not mandatory. It's just if you do it, you're rewarded. And then there's 8 boxes for loyals. If you want to sign 8 in a day, I signed 7 in a day on January 3rd. And then reading or watching a YouTube video. And so that's our checklist. So I think this keeps me on task because when I wake up, some days I have early days, other days I maybe sleep in until 7:30. It just depends based on my Orange Theory class, honestly. And then I also have this. This is my Christian planner, and it's keeping me on track so far. I've gotten 1 week down. And so it's just vertical days, vertical lines, and I just want them filled up with potentials. And so for me, they're not a potential until they message me back like at least twice. They're not my potential if I just sent them the script because they commented on a host to post. And then I highlight if they sign up. And so anyways, that's just my goal, to get my work done. And so if I get this done, my boys go to school. Eli, my youngest, doesn't have to. I chose to enroll him in school for my own sanity. And so I know they're going to be gone, and I know I have a lot of distractions, and I can watch TV and I can do whatever I want, but I have this looking at me, and I put this out there to my team that I was going to step up and do this because my team's not organized. They follow my lead. We don't do this stuff normally. So I told them, like, I have this brilliant idea. We're keeping each other accountable. We're going all in. I can't fail them. So what helps me stay on it is making sure I get this done. And then if it's like 7 o'clock at night and I didn't get it done, I have an issue and I need to figure that out with myself on where I went wrong. And then making sure I'm still a good wife. Zach and I think it's important that you have a conversation with your significant other based on your scenario and whatnot. Like, I'm trying to promote and go Diamond 2.0 and stuff, but I'm not trying to go ambassador again, where we had a big conversation where it was like, you got to do all the things. And, I'm not at that point because I'm good here. But we are on the same page of like, you're going to cook on this day. I'm going to cook on this day. You put the boys to bed the first 4 nights. I'll do the weekend. And we're on the same page with that. And then I'm trying to be checked out 9:30. I have to, today doesn't count because I really needed to go. I needed to go all in all day today. And then giving him that last hour before bed. And so anyway, and then my kids, I just know when they come home from school. And I know that, like, if I don't get my list done, I need to neglect them. And don't get me wrong, just because I know when they come home, it doesn't mean I get my stuff done before them. Like 3 days last week, I did neglect them. Thank goodness they had their dad home, but it makes me feel guilty to where I'm like, I need to wake up earlier because I don't want to be on my phone when they get home from school. So I think it's really just, my word for the year is discipline. I lack it in every aspect of my life. And so I just want to be disciplined. But I also made sure I told Zach, like, if I drop the ball one day and for whatever reason I get my tasks done by 2, but they're blowing up, are we on the same page that I will be like MIA for the rest of the night because we can't control that and we're still happy it blows up? And that happened a couple nights last week. That day I signed 7 customers. He was like, I'll do it all. Like, stay, keep on signing them, because he gets hyped up because he moves them for me. So anyways, that's how I do it. And I give myself grace because I'm not perfect by any means, but I also know it's easier when I wake up, and it's easier when I get sleep, and it's easier when I just have a schedule. So that's what I'm working on this year.
That's awesome. And if you don't mind, I don't know if that's in that mastermind chat that we have or if you created it. Okay, yeah, send it to me because a lot of people are asking about it. Okay, so I know how you work your business now, obviously, but I want you to speak to people who have a kid who is at home, whether it's a newborn or a year old or 2 years old. How did you work your business? We don't have to go so into depth about it, but how did you do it? Did you do it during nap time, or did you wake up later? Like, how did you do it? Because you were were you a triple pres whenever you had your second son?
I was a triple and I was maintaining Diamond. So like, I was like desperate. So I first think what helped me was like, listen, I'm very, very good at having a pity party for myself. And I think that like the world's out to get me. And I think life is so hard. And I swear I just love to be sad. It's weird, but I'm also very happy. So it's just weird. So with that being said, the reason I say that, I don't have a problem. But the reason I say that is because like I had my son and he was such a he was an issue. He was hard. We couldn't connect for the first 8 months. So like I had it so hard, and I felt like I was the only one, and I was so caught up. Like it was like a month that went by. Zach had also gone back to work because we were struggling. And I was just so obsessed with like, this is hard. No one gets it. Like I was the only one with 2 kids, the only one with a colicky baby. And I was so obsessed with that I didn't even realize like it was a month. And I was just so obsessed over that it was hard. And that was preventing me from moving past that. And so I feel like when I switched from this is hard to, I can't control it. Zach doesn't want to come home. My kid is not going to get any better anytime soon. And I just am home with him. Like that, I can't control any of this. I have to just work around it. I feel like that was a mindset shift that I needed. And then, yeah, I feel like with Carter, when I was pregnant with him, I didn't have It Works, and I slept every time he slept. I did all the things that everyone brags to do when you're a new mom. With Eli, I was just like, what do I want? Like, I need money again. I need to do this again. Like, I need to get up there. So I don't get to do the things that all normal moms do. Like, I don't get to nap when he naps. I don't get to enjoy all those things. And I think when I made that mind up that I wanted my better life that I had prior to him, when we were doing really good with It Works, over the easy stuff, I feel like I did more and I sacrificed more. So when he napped, I didn't nap. When all of the things. And then I was just so intentional. And I also asked for help. He was not in school. My mom watched him 1 day a week, and it seemed like it was just not enough time, but I was just so psycho during the time that I had with that she helped me with. And then I just did the best I could, and I would just work with him on me and I just did the best I could. But I feel like the biggest thing with that, the biggest tip I have is just channeling my mindset from, it is hard, but I can't control it and I can't change it. And it's very easy just to complain about it. But when I was complaining about it, I wasn't doing anything about it. So that helped me a lot.
No, I love that a lot. And I think that that's something I'm even guilty of, is like, I feel like I have to take on everything and I don't ask for help. Like, I know that I have 3 sets of parents that would absolutely be like, yes, I will watch Chloe for 4 hours so you can just work. And I think that sometimes we get so caught up in like, well, we have this freedom where we can stay home with our kids. So then we feel guilty asking our parents for that. And so it's okay to ask for help. And I talk to a lot of my people about that a lot. I think that it's so important. I'm glad that you said that. So just the next question, and I won't keep you too long because I know you got to spend time with your hubby. So since you grew so fast, because you went triple it was like your first year you were triple, right?
Yeah.
What do you think was just like that one thing that got you there? Because we're about to go into just like such a huge season of Boom. So was it just the consistency of showing up? Was it, using the products and having results with it? Like, what was that one thing you think? Was it your mindset? Like, did you ever work on self-development back there? Like, what was it that you're like, or was it your struggle? Like, what was that one thing that just was like, okay, I'm going to do this. This is how I'm going to do it. And I don't care what else happens,
Yeah. That's a hard question because Host to Post wasn't there until the month I went Prez, and that was in 2017. And I went triple in 16. So I don't really know what we did, honestly. I don't. Like, I was just talking to the people on my Zoom before this, and I was like, you guys, my timeline still reminds me that, like, my goal for the month was 5 loyals, and that was a good month. Like, it used to be really hard. And so it's like, we have something so good now. So in the beginning, I think it's just, we were so goal oriented. And I don't know when we turned away from this. Like, we were always taught, and Allie probably remembers this too, but like, I feel like we were always, the preach was like, starts with one. So every day we were trying to get our one. And we were also like, our stuff was plastered everywhere. Like, that's all the posts were always all over Facebook, was like pictures on their mirror, pictures of everything. And you were always looking at that next goal to where like you wanted it so bad. And I feel like that was so in your mind and in front of you visually that like you had no choice but to make it happen. And then I feel like somehow we stepped away from it and we just had the idea in our head. Like, for example, my next goal is Diamond 2.0. And in my head, I know like, oh, I'm going to use this person and this person. But I just took it out on January 1st, like my Diamond chart. I guess I thought I was too good for charting again. And prior to that, I've been working on Diamond for flipping 6 months. Because I didn't have that chart out, it's like, you don't make it happen. There's a difference in knowing that's your next goal and seeing it there and being like, okay, cool, I'm actually 1 away. So this past week, I took out my Diamond chart and I was like, wait, when I actually filled it out, I was like, I'm 1 away from being boxed. And then I wrote all the volumes and I was like, this is fine. Like, this is the stuff. Like, I know I'm going to do it now this month because it's out. So I think that somehow, somewhere, we stepped away from that. And I also didn't have my results in the beginning. I didn't get good results with It Works until right before I went ambassador. And that's wild because that would have been 4.5 years in the business. And I was my skinniest. And I'm reminded on it because it was last year and I walked stage for it. But so the fact that we now have all these great products and you do have the product results to back you up, it's like I was successful without it. So now it's like, holy freaking moly. And then again, I was successful before Host Post. Now we do have Host Post. So put that all together and get your chart back out. And you really will do it when you see, like, I just think it's just a difference in being like, okay, now I know I have 1 box to fill. Now, like, that's all I want to do is sign 1 distributor, rather than knowing, I think I want to go Diamond this month, but I'm not looking at it every single day and I don't know who my strong leg is, who my weak leg, like, and all of that stuff. So I feel like that's the thing, is just going back to the basics. And some of you guys might not know what the basics are because you weren't around, but that's what I would say, is knowing what you're going for, actually printing it off and putting it around the house, talking about it all the time. Like, I feel like sometimes too, we feel like we can't talk about the promotion we're hitting until like the 25th. And it's like, I started talking about Prez and Ambassador that first day of the month. And so all month long, I was like, woke up and I was like, one step closer to Ambassador. Oh my gosh, I signed 5 customers. I'm this closer. I'm this many orders. And I kept going and going to where at the end of the month, both of those major promotions, I had people in my corner being like, okay, I'll buy one product because I saw you're 60 orders away and I don't know what this means. I don't know what Ambassador is, but I've been following you and I'm excited for you. And it's like, when you put it out there so long, you have no choice but to make it happen. And it's not like you're forcing it. It's just like, it's aligned. And both, I did both of those things and everything I said for Prez and Ambassador. And out of all the promotions, those 2 were the most simplest. I didn't cry and I didn't lock myself in the bathroom because I was physically ill. And with Ambassador, I went on the 26th and I just had to purchase a box of wraps, and we did it all organically because we started talking about it and we visualized it and we were just putting it out there and we just followed through with it.
Yeah, I think there's so much like putting it out there. And I don't know if you were on this, well, I don't know. It was a Zoom with Jade and Cheyenne, and Jade was like, stop worrying about how it's going to happen. Like, you don't have potentials. Like, just focus that no matter what, like, you know, God's going to bless you and he's going to bring those distributors into your business because he wants you to live an abundant life. Like, that's all that it comes down to. Let's just say, for example, you have that diamond chart filled out now, right? You said, okay, you signed a distributor tonight. Are you going to stack that, or are you going to place that other on your Ambassador chart? What are you going to do with that distributor?
I'm all about stacking, and that's what I did for Ambassador. Like, my triple was like the scariest, and like we did it in like the second week, and we had 2 weeks left, and we had like a promotion that month, a distributor promotion, and we just stacked like crazy because I feel like you just have to know that everyone you sign is not going to be super great right off the bat, and that's okay. I always think about Ashley, your story. When I sign someone and they don't talk to me, I'm like, there's hope. There's hope that they're not leaving me. So for me, for example, when I fill this box, like tonight, maybe, hopefully, I'm just going to start stacking based on like I know there's 2 people on here that have ghosted me. I'm going to put them under them first. I'm just going to make this so fat and like stocky because that's how I feel like it organically happens. Sometimes I think we just get the bare minimum and then we're caught up on like, oh my gosh, I'm boxed for diamond. Now I'm going for double. And it's like, I mean, right now my 2.0 isn't maintaining emerald. So it's like, I'm not going to keep jumping the gun. I'm just going to make sure diamond is super set and then double hit it. I think we get wrapped up in the charting. And I just hate that. I told my team to stop promoting on Facebook, so-and-so is charted for their next rank, because I'm like, when did we start putting that like freaking blanket over someone that like you're charted, and then it stops there. And then they think that it's like this badge of honor to be charted, and you've been charted all year. And it's like, I just feel like we stopped. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, it's not even an accomplishment, unfortunately. Like, it is, you know, but to an extent, you know, because then people are like, oh, I'm charted. Well, like, you're not going to have the paycheck just because you're charted. But just just as far as like stacking, get to your enroller. I know a lot of people are asking about that. Just ask your enroller or your diamond upline. They'll be able to help you with that. Last thing I want to ask you, going into conference, what's something you would tell someone who's a brand new distributor, maybe someone who's been in for a few months? Like, would you just say to them if they're going to experience just like this boom for the first time, just going into it, just, you know, being 100% focused on it?
I just love when you talk fast. I feel like you're speaking to me. Okay. Yes. I would say whether you're going or not, I'm not going to just, I feel like you guys have heard from every leader, you need to get there. So I won't jump on that train. You already know you need to get there, whether you're going or not. I think you need to like have the conversation. Like, I don't know. I've been really annoying with this, but I feel like it starts with your home. Like, if your home life is not good, you can maybe do good at the business, but like if you're trying to promote and you're trying to like fulfill what's happening, what's going to happen within the next 3 weeks with conference, get your life together. I mean, like, get your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your roommate, whoever it is, get them on the same page that it's about to be crazy. Figure out your schedule, get it all set up now, even though you probably have no idea what's to come. And then you're going to be set up. And I feel like if you're not going, you got to really be aware, like, I'm not going to feel that energy because I'm not in the room. You got to like latch on and you got to freaking feel it and that's hard. It's very hard. If you're not going, I do feel like you need to work a little bit harder because it's not the same. But I feel like what we can do is that preparation. I feel like it's the same as what we did in December. And in December, I was working my business, but I was doing a lot of freaking housekeeping. I was like, schedule, what's going on, what's on this day. And I think we need to do that, knowing that in the beginning of February, it's going to explode us. in February is going to be out of control. So I would just say, make sure your home life's okay. You know, I've had to have some hard talks with some people on my team, and I'm like, you got some like toxic relationships, like some issues with your kids, like you got to get those figured out. And to me, when I'm not inserted in the issue, I'm like, it's so clear. Like, it's so clear as day. Like let's say like one of my girls is having issues with her significant other and she's not signing people and her business is suffering. It's so clear to me to be like, I know what the issue is. You're revolved around this toxic relationship and you guys need to make sure you like figure it out. And so it's always so clear to me. So I think some of us need to like figure out that and realize that we're going to be stalled and we're not going to be able to move forward. And then you're going to miss out. And so you just don't want to be at the end of the year being like, dang, I really wish I was on. I really wish I got what everybody else got out of that boom, and just trust. You probably have no idea what's coming. Maybe you haven't been a part of the beginning of the year before, but you just got to trust what you're being told and do the things you've never done. And so I just want to remind you that this is not my jam. It actually makes me really tired and like really stressed out, but I feel like there's no coincidence that I've had so many enrollments and everything is doing really good. So do the things that make you uncomfortable, copy the right cat, and just stay close to the fire, and you're going to feel it all.
Yay. Well, that was so good. Thank you so much, Rachel. Well, guys, make sure to follow her on Facebook and Instagram. Don't go blow her up with questions. If you guys have questions, you can reach out to your upline. But I just love you so much, and thank you so much for doing this, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye, guys.
Thank you.